what the block, and today our patients are dragSize and dragPosition. These two blocks are related. They often are used together, and they make creating draggable and resizable components a breeze. So they're designed to go onto the data flow of whatever element you want to be draggable. So I'm actually going to, cut them from here. And I'm going to go and create a group, component group. And let me go ahead and make it more visible by make it vertical and give it a different background so we can see it. And I'm going to create inside this group, I'm going to add, let me just add a box here. That's not going to be a different color, and that's going to be something that I want to grab by, like this, basically a header. Right, so if I want to make this box draggable and resizable, right, so obviously if I go to preview right now, it's not, and it can't possibly be, but we can make it so. So if I go to its data flow, and I'm going to paste my two blocks there. Right? For dragPosition, all I have to supply is event to start the dragging and event to end it. In this case, this shape would be something that I want the user to allow grabbing. So its event of mouse down will be the event to start, and mouse up global will be the event to end the dragging. It's important to use the global because when you go towards the edge of the screen, and if your box stops at the edge of the screen, so your mouse gets away from your box, then you won't be able to let go and stop dragging, right? It'll just be dragged forever offset from your cursor, so you'll never get your cursor into the header to drop it. So you'll have to go back to design mode and stop these blocks manually. And anyway, just use mouse up global if you want it to be droppable like any normal draggable window would be. Right, so right away, you can see that now in preview, I can actually drag this component around. Now you have to understand that this only makes sense when your component is located inside basically here an absolute layout. Right, component itself can be vertical, whatever, but it has to be inside an absolute layout to be able to move around without any repercussions. What you can also do, this dragPosition block has feedback to tell you if it's dragging. You can use it, for example, to change the cursor to indicate that it's being dragged. So I can bind this to a cursor of my header here with a control. And I'm going to say when is dragging is true, my cursor will be this clutched hand, otherwise open hand, right? And so it would look something like this. When I mouse in, I have open hand. The minute I start dragging, right, I get the clutched hand. And similar story with dragSize. Unfortunately, I dragged two positions here. So let's go and drag the right dragSize. There you go. So very similar event. So let me create another shape to be my resize grabber, right? Right here. And oh yeah, I did make it vertical, didn't I? So let me go ahead and unmake it. So I'll make it absolute. All right, this stays here, and this guy will be anchored at the bottom. There. So I can use this little square as my interaction point to resize something, right? So same deal, on mouse down, I'm gonna initiate the start, the drag start, and on mouse up global will be the end. And this allows me to then do this. If you look at actual properties of the group that I'm affecting, you can see that its X and Y are changing in real time. So they're not being masked by something, they're actually changing. So you can use them as feedback for calculations if you need. And then when you drag, it's X and Y, so vertical and horizontal offsets are changing as well. right? Few more properties of the block. You can specify limits for resize. You can specify a min max, obviously, for both. You can also change the mode to only allow vertical or horizontal resizing. Same thing as dragging. So here, if I change it to vertical only, I cannot make it wider, but I can make it taller. Right? So you can customize pretty well to quickly build arrangeable dialog windows or make components draggable on your map, on your other geographical locations, and so on. Yeah, very useful pair of blocks. So make the best of them, and that's it for today's episode.